Ever walked into a crowded room and instantly felt your soul shrink? Not because anyone said or did anything, but because something deep inside whispered, "I don't belong here." Funny, isn't it? Everyone else seems fine, laughing, shouting, scrolling on their phones, but you're just trying to survive. The noise, the chaos, the fake smiles. You tell yourself you're just tired or not in the mood. But let's be honest, this happens every time, doesn't it? It's not a mood, it's a message. And it's been trying to talk to you for years. People who hate crowded places are often labeled as shy, antisocial, or just introverts. But here's the uncomfortable truth. It's not about the people. It's about the energy they carried. Every crowd has a frequency, a pulse. And if you've ever felt drained after being around too many people, it's because your mind is picking up signals that others can't even detect. Most people crave noise. They need distractions. They drown in conversations about nothing, just to avoid hearing themselves think. But you? You don't need that. You feel the world, in frequencies too loud for others to even notice. That's why crowded places don't just feel uncomfortable. They feel wrong. Your brain was built differently. Not broken. Not fragile. Just aware. While others see a group of humans, your subconscious sees a battlefield of micro-expressions, fake laughs, and unspoken tensions. You sense lies before they're spoken. You feel judgment before it's shown. You read energy like a second language. And in a crowd, that language screams. Here's the dark part. Your mind doesn't trust the crowd. Because deep down, you know what people become when they gather in numbers. Logic fades. Morality bends. The individual disappears. Crowds have started wars. Burned witches. Canceled souls. Your instinct remembers all of that. The primitive fear of losing control in the noise. So when your chest tightens, and your heart races in a sea of faces, it's not social anxiety. It's ancestral memory whispering. Be careful. This is where humanity forgets itself. And yet, most people will never notice this about themselves. Society doesn't want you to think like that. They'll say, "Oh, you're just overthinking." Ah, yes, the classic insult to every deep thinker. Because God forbid someone actually feels what others ignore. The world celebrates extroversion, loudness, attention, performance. But silence terrifies them. Because silence reveals truth. And truth isn't always pretty. When you avoid crowded places, you're not rejecting people, you're rejecting pretending. The fake small talk. The social masks. The desperate need to be seen, liked, approved. You've outgrown that performance. And that's exactly why crowds make you sick. You've evolved out of their noise. Maybe you used to be different. Maybe you loved parties once. But something changed. You started noticing the emptiness behind every forced laugh. The competition hidden under every friendly compliment. You began to see through the illusion of connection, realizing that most people don't want to connect. They just want validation. And now, every time you step into a crowd, your brain whispers, "None of this is real." That's not paranoia. That's awareness. Deep thinkers empaths, and psychologically self-aware people process the world differently. Their brains react stronger to social cues, meaning every expression, every tone, every word hits deeper. While the average person can tune it out, you can't. Your mind absorbs it like a sponge. That's why you come home from social events feeling mentally exhausted. Not from people, but from pretending to be normal. Imagine standing in the middle of a subway platform during rush hour. Hundreds of people around you, shoving, staring, bumping into each other. Everyone is moving, but no one sees you. You feel invisible. And yet, every movement, every glance, every tone hits your brain like a jolt. And you can't escape it. What if the real reason you hate crowded places isn't just psychological, but philosophical? What if the crowd reminds you of how small and replaceable we all are? You look around, hundreds of faces, all different, yet somehow identical. Everyone chasing the same illusions: attention, validation, belonging. It's like watching humanity glitch in real time. Your brain, that quiet observer, sees it all and whispers, "This is not where I find meaning." You crave depth. Not chatter. Not gossip. Not chaos. Depth, the kind that can't exist in a crowded room. Because everyone's too busy shouting over each other to actually say something worth hearing. The irony? The people who thrive in crowds are often the ones most afraid of being alone. They need the noise to fill the silence they can't stand. But you're different. Silence doesn't scare you. It feeds you. Because silence is where you meet your real self. The one you've learned to protect from the world. And yet, they call you distant, cold, weird. As if peace and solitude are symptoms. Maybe they are. Symptoms of evolution. Because in a world obsessed with attention, solitude is rebellion. Here's the twist. Your dislike for crowds doesn't mean you hate people. In fact, it often means you love deeper than most. You just value authenticity. And crowds rarely offer that. You don't want thousands of connections. You want one real one. You'd rather have one honest conversation at midnight than 100 shallow ones in a club. So the next time someone says you're too quiet or antisocial, just smile. Because while they're busy losing themselves in the crowd, you're finding yourself in the silence. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real meaning behind your discomfort. Not fear, not anxiety, but clarity. The clarity to see that the loudest rooms are often the emptiest. And the quietest souls are the ones who truly hear. So yes, you hate crowded places. But maybe that's because your mind refuses to drown in the noise. Maybe it's because your soul knows something most people forgot. Peace isn't found in the crowd. It's found when you walk away from it.